Foldable and flippable smartphones have been coming into their own over the past year. We now have more fun options than ever before, but as the veteran of folding phones, Samsung's options still lead the pack in many ways. That's especially true for the Galaxy Z Flip series, which reached its prime 2 years ago with the Galaxy Z Flip 4 and has been on a roll ever since. Last year's Galaxy Z Flip 5 was hands down the best flip phone for most folks, and we're expecting similarly great things from this year's successor. However, if you've been considering a foldable phone, we're at that awkward time of year when it's a tough call. First of all, we have a bigger battery. This upcoming phone is set to bring the biggest upgrade to the lineup, and it's a game changer. The previous Galaxy Z Flip smartphones were held back by their small batteries, struggling to handle heavy use without needing a recharge before bedtime. But now, Samsung is stepping up their game. The Z Flip 4 saw an increase in battery capacity from 3,300 to 3,700 mAh, and the Z Flip 6 is following suit. With a 4,000 mAh battery, it matches the power of the Galaxy S24. While 4,000 may not be considered massive in today's standards, it's the minimum you'll find on non-foldable phones. However, thanks to the efficient Snapdragon chip and optimized software, and taking cues from the Galaxy S24, the Z Flip 6 won't leave you constantly worrying about battery life like its predecessors. Get ready for a phone that keeps up with your needs. Now, as we know that Samsung's foldables have always been powered by Qualcomm's Snapdragon chips, and this year is no exception. The Galaxy Z Flip 6 will run on the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, the same processor found in the Galaxy S24 series. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 from 2023 was a stellar chip known for its exceptional performance and power efficiency. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 maintains the power efficiency of its predecessor while delivering even faster performance, especially for gaming. Samsung is testing the Z Flip 6 with last year's Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chipset, although it also appears to have boosted it to 12 gigs of RAM rather than the 8 gigs that's standard for Samsung's Z Flip series. This might be a reasonable compromise given the higher RAM and considering that the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 is still a very capable chip. The Z Flip is also more of a flagship for its design than its performance specs. However, it's also possible that this could be an alternative model for specific markets, allowing Samsung to use Snapdragon chips across the board rather than selling Exynos-powered versions internationally. What's more, the Galaxy Z Flip 6 will come with more RAM than ever before. This model will be the first Z Flip phone to offer 12 gigs of RAM. The base version will still have 8 gigs of RAM, which should be sufficient for most users. However, power users looking for top-notch performance can opt for the 12 gigs variant. It remains uncertain whether Samsung will make the 12 gigs version widely available. Given that even the base model is expected to be pricier than the Flip 5, the 12 gigs variant might be too costly for some markets, leading Samsung to limit its availability in certain regions. Last year's Galaxy Z Flip 5 improved upon its 2022 predecessor in two significant areas, the hinge and the cover screen. These may seem like minor improvements, but combined, they give Samsung's latest flip phone a much nicer fit and finish. Samsung's new Flex hinge eliminated the gap from previous models, such that when the Galaxy Z Flip 5 is folded closed, it feels properly shut. That looks nicer and gives the device a more solid feel overall, but it also shaves 2 mm off its thickness when folded. The new hinge is also quieter and smoother, yet still holds its position when you want to prop the phone up. Overall, it feels better in every way, especially when combined with the excellent overall build quality. We're not anticipating any big changes to the hinge on the Galaxy Z Flip 6, but that's fine, as we don't think any are needed. Samsung nailed this one last year, and it's hard to improve upon near perfection. However, Samsung may build on the other significant improvement from last year by making the cover screen even bigger. More on that in a moment. Samsung may continue its trend toward brighter screens. The Galaxy Z Flip 5 gained 550 nits over the Z Flip 4, but the display specs are expected to be the same otherwise. Plus, at 1750 nits, the inside display of the Galaxy Z Flip 5 is already plenty bright. We've certainly had no problem seeing it on even the sunniest summer days. It remains to be seen whether Samsung will finally be able to eliminate the crease. There are reports of Samsung Display trademarking a new Iron Flex foldable OLED technology, but that might be more about durability and dust resistance. The best information available right now suggests that the primary sensor will get an upgrade to 50 megapixels. That's not only a healthy boost over the 12 megapixels found on the current model, but it's also likely that Samsung will take advantage of the higher resolution to add the same pseudo-optical zoom capabilities it brought to the Galaxy S23 and Galaxy S24 models by using the 12.5 million pixels in the center of the sensor to produce a 2x image. That won't match a proper 3x telephoto lens, but it should definitely be an improvement over digitally zooming from a 12 megapixel sensor. There's no word on whether Samsung will improve the specs on its ultra-wide or selfie cameras from the 12 megapixels and 10 megapixels versions on the Galaxy Z Flip 5. Nevertheless, last year's Galaxy Z Flip 5 delivered some noticeable image processing improvements over the Z Flip 4, and we expect the Galaxy Z Flip 6 will follow suit, especially if it gets the latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip with its better image signal processor. The Galaxy Z Flip 5 is no slouch in the camera department, though, and it delivers the kind of vibrant and rich images you'd expect from a Samsung phone. Samsung's Z series phones always come out just before each year's major Android releases. The Galaxy Z Flip 5 shipped in August 2023 with Android 13 and Samsung's One UI 5 layered on top, although it's since received Android 14 and One UI 6. That's likely where the Galaxy Z Flip 6 will land, with an Android 15 and One UI 7 update showing up later in the year. However, this year, Samsung matched Google with a 7-year update promise for its Galaxy S24 series, and there's every reason to believe the Galaxy Z Flip 6 will benefit from this as well. That alone will give the phone more longevity. The Galaxy Z Flip 5 will only receive 4 Android updates, and it got its first of those only a few weeks after release, which means the end of the road will be Android 17. The Galaxy Z Flip 6 will likely be in the same boat in getting its first update this fall, but a 7-year promise will take it to Android 21. Since the Galaxy Z Flip 5 is already running One UI 6, we're not expecting too many new software features in the Galaxy Z Flip 6, at least not right away. Samsung will likely introduce it with One UI 6.2, an update we're hoping will make it easier for everyday users to customize the cover screen without jumping through hoops. However, since that's a software feature, it would likely also trickle down to the Galaxy Z Flip 5. Well, Flip 5 owners probably should not bother. The slightly larger screen, slight improvements to battery life, and the upgraded main camera are nice and all, but probably not worth upgrading right away, unless you have a great trade-in deal. Samsung's focus, however, surely is on making the best flip on the market and attracting those who own a traditional phone or an older flip phone. For them, the Galaxy Z Flip 6 might just have the right amount of innovation. In either case, we will know all the official details on July 10th at Samsung Unpacked, so stay tuned, flip phone lovers. So, are you going to buy the latest flip from Samsung or want to stick with your old one? Share it down below in the comments section, and for more updates do subscribe our channel, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, take care.